classified as a second offender. Offense is carnal knowledge of a juvenile. Parole date is 4/20/2021. Good time date is not eligible, and full term date is 4/20/2025. Is this information correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wise, you may start the interview.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you very much. Sir, how long you been incarcerated?
4 years and 1 month.
4 years and 1 month.
Yes, sir.
The victim in this case, how did you know the victim was involved in this case?
Well, she was my brother's girlfriend and daughter.
How old was she?
If I'm not mistaken, I believe 15, 14,
How old were you?
42.
All right. Have you taken any kind of sex offender program?
Not at this facility. I have been trying to go to the Steve Hall program, but with everything that was going on with the COVID-19, I hadn't been in any other facility outside this one, outside LaSalle, Caldwell, and Catahoula.
Yeah, I'd sure like to see you take some sex offender programs before you was to get out. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. And let me ask something. Has drugs or alcohol been a problem during that time?
Yes, sir. The consequences of the action was behind alcohol. It was also, it was family issues. Me and her mother used to be in a relationship, and the consequences on the alcohol, it was a mistake because actually the decision was made under the influence of alcohol. I thought it was her mother. It was an accident.
Well, you know, and I know you gotta know what's going on when you dealing with children.
Yes, sir.
You're 42 years old and she was 14. But far as programs, Warden, do y'all have any kind of programs there he could take?
I took in everything that is here, but they don't have anything concerning with us of sex offenders. And this is the only facility that I've been
Yeah, is
in.
a warden there?
Not in this section. He's on
Is a
compound.
warden there?
Not at this time, sir. Would you like me to get him?
Okay, I want to ask you, what's your name?
Officer Smith.
Officer Smith. Do you know anything about any kind of sex offender programs they have there?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. You know that I see you've had a lot of arrests, a lot of them dealing with a vehicle or traffic or different things like that. You're classified as a low risk, but the cardinal knowledge there, and I'm still kind of hung up on that sex offender treatment. I think you need some kind of treatment. But at this time, I don't have any other questions.
Thank you.
Ms. Pearl,
Sir, the records I have show that you got your high set December the 10th of 2019. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I just want to commend you on that. That's good.
I'm the first in my family out of 7 to receive it.
Wow, that's really good. That's really good. Have you have any thoughts on what else you're gonna do in terms of training when you get out?
Well, yes, ma'am. I was gonna I was gonna try to locate in my parish. They gave me a list of stuff that concerning these charges that would help me. And I had those programs that I was gonna try to attend if I was released. And I'm done with the drinking and stuff. I done took Alcoholics Anonymous in my parish in Caddo. They don't have anything like that. I have been drinking all my life. I have had a problem with drugs all my life. But it's my period of incarceration these last 4 years. I done been without it. I'm done with that. I done committed my life to Jesus. And I'm just looking forward to going on with positive things instead of all the negativity that I've been surrounded all my life.
So, sir, so you said you got the list of programs. So I guess my question to you is, what you want to be when you grow up?
Well, I also wanted to continue I wanted to expand my educational values. I had plans on trying to get in there's a community college in Shreveport. I was going to try to continue further my career, further my education.
Yeah, but they don't tell me what you want to be.
Well, I'm a mechanic by trade, and I wanted to try to learn. I was going to try to open my own shop. Me and my brother, we have a shop on MLK area called T's Garage.
Okay.
My brothers have ownership there, and I was going to try to learn and continue my learning the automobiles there.
Okay, so you're gonna try to get a business degree or something, or what?
Automotive, yes, automotive, yes, ma'am.
Oh, automotive, great. Okay, great. That's a good idea. I don't know how accurate this is or not, but it seems like the records reflects that you denied this offense up until the DNA test proves that you were the father of the child. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So you guys were not in an ongoing relationship?
No, ma'am. Like I said, it was an accident. I used
It
to
was
talk.
on. That's fine. That's fine. So your statement today is it was a one-time incident.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's all I wanted to know. And I do want to inform you, as a part of this process, we do reach out to the victim's family, and law enforcement to get their opinion about early release. And law enforcement is opposed to your early release. And also, and because y'all share a child together, so the victim is unopposed, the victim's mother is unopposed to your early release. And I just thought that you may want to know that, because I don't know if you're not supposed to have any contact with them. So, but I do want you to know that for today's hearing, she's unopposed. Now, the records I have show that you are the father of 4 children. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That includes the child that you had with the victim?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, how old are your other 3 children?
My oldest is 27. My knee baby is 23. I have a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old.
And then you have the newborn with the victim.
Yes, ma'am.
How many mothers is that?
4.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you for answering my question, sir. That's all I had.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Kingsley,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Kingsley, how long you been drinking?
I have been drinking since I was about 17.
And how long you been doing drugs?
Also about the same time.
And why is it that I should accept the fact that you're not going to go back to doing that again?
Well, as I said, this is my first time I've been to jail. I haven't never did over 90 days. And this has been a 4-year incarceration for me. I've been without drugs over this time. And as I said, I took up Alcoholics Anonymous and different types of courses at Caddo Parish.
How long ago was that?
17. I left Caddo Parish.
2017, okay. So what do you plan on doing about your drinking and drugs when you get out? How are you going to stay off?
I'm done with it. I'm going to continue to go to Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous to further my time, work, and continue to take care of my children, further my education. I'm done with alcohol.
Are you an alcoholic?
I'm not going to say I drank, but I'm not going to just say I'm an alcoholic because I've never been in trouble for it.
Are you an alcoholic?
Yes, sir.
Are you a drug addict?
Yes, sir.
Until you admit that to yourself, you're admitting it to me now. I'm not sure you're admitting it to yourself, but until you admit that, you're not going to get any better.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wise suggested he has some concerns that you haven't taken that sex offender program. I have the same concerns. And I'll tell you what really bothers me is that you're sitting here telling us it was an accident that you slept with a 14-year-old girl thinking it might have been her 30-something-year-old mother. I don't accept that.
It's the truth, sir. Literally the truth.
Well, then you've got a more serious alcohol problem than you're admitting. What do you think your act did to that 14-year-old girl? Have you thought about that?
Yes, sir.
You have?
Yes, sir.
Well, tell me
Yeah.
what, I'm sorry?
Yes, sir, I have. I know
Well,
it's
tell me what, how old were you?
42.
Tell me what you think a 42-year-old man having sex with a 14-year-old girl does to her.
No, it devastated her, but it's how can I say it? I didn't the way this happened, I didn't pursue this. It was an accident. I didn't pursue.
You're not hearing my question.
I
You
know it
did
is.
something to that girl, whether you're going to claim it's an accident or not. My question to you, and this is what you will get out of sex offense classes, what you do to victims when you victimize them with sex. So have you given any thought other than defending yourself and making excuses, what your action, a 42-year-old man having sex with a 14-year-old girl, did to her?
No, I didn't know. I knew it. She lost a child. She lost a childhood. I understand. I know that. It gave her responsibility that she wasn't really ready for.
Well, that's why you need sex offender class. And that's why the law mandates your crime get sex offender class. Thank you for your honesty.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there are no further questions. Can we have Mr. Kingsley make a brief statement before the board votes?
Yes, ma'am. Being at this facility, they don't carry any sex offender classes or anything. Is it any kind of way that I have been trying to get to the Steve Hart sex offender class since the end of 18, but I wrote, but no one responded. Is there any way that I can get some help get into one of those facilities?
All right, sir, that concludes your statement. That's your statement to us. You asking a question about Steve Hall?
Yes, ma'am, because I really do. I really do want to get this behind me, and I do agree with you that is in my best interest to take those courses.
Yes, sir. And I hate to tell you though, this is never going to be behind you. It's going to be always ahead of you. It's going to be a part of your lifestyle now. Sex offender registration, you are in a whole nother world now. It's a long from behind you, and you got a child in the world, so it's long from behind you. But you do need to figure out how to go forward with it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is the panel ready to vote?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wise.
At this time, I'm gonna vote to the die. I want to see you get sex offender treatment programs, all 4 phases, phase 1, 2, 3, and 4. Also your criminal history. And let me tell you something. She's 14, you was 42. She's had a child. That's got to have her messed up. What if it be your own daughter? But I'm not here to lecture to you like that. I just voted, but that's terrible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Bettle.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Mr. Kingsley, I'm glad to hear that you think maybe some classes can help you. There are a couple of things that you said that bothered me, and I want you to think about it as you're taking your classes. Number one, You are an alcoholic and you are a drug addict, and you will have to deal with that for the rest of your life. And I do want you to take that sex offender class so you can understand what your actions did or do to other people, so you don't do those things again. And as Ms. Wise has pointed out, this ain't going to be behind you. You got this, you look forward to this for the rest of your life. And I hope that, and I would recommend that we try to get you, I don't know if Steve Hoyle is the proper place for you. I know you do need more knowledge about substance abuse, but you need specific sex offender treatment. Steve Hoyle has some of that, but it's not as clear as the 4-phase sex offender treatment that we have. So my vote would be to deny, but to encourage you to really look in the mirror, look at yourself, and try to figure out who you want to be and what you're going to do with the rest of your life. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
At this time, sir, you got 2 votes to deny. I concur with my colleagues. My vote is to deny due to the law enforcement opposition, the nature of the offense, and the need for treatment, the need for continual treatment. I'm going to make notations in the file as to your request for Steve Hall for substance abuse treatment and sex offender treatment. And all you can do is what you can do, is continue to make requests to get moved there. Best wishes to you, sir, but today your parole has been denied.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Caldwell Parish, we thank y'all for accommodating us today. We'll show adjourn at 1:30 p.m.
I gotta tell you, that hearing was so painful. I am happy that we do not have to watch both Pearl Wise and Jim Wise, and they're not related, in the same room, because it's just a horrible interview. I'd have had no idea what was going on unless Mr. Marabella jumped in, and they're just like, yeah, that's great, that's nice. For those of you not familiar with Jim Wise, I do not like him. I've only seen him like 3 or 4 times, but he each time has been completely rude when the victims are there. He's been just abnormally, more than rude. I would say even disgusting to the victims. And even the way he talks to the inmates is disrespectful, and the prison staff. It's very alarming. I've seen him in other hearings where he's just kind of yelling at the prison staff, and it's strange. And you know, it's his background is his background. I mean, it just doesn't seem the right rule at all for to be on the board. He was a sheriff. He was a deputy at the Paris Sheriff's Office for 18 years as supervisor over all uniform divisions. And the sheriff office has a blanket no statement for anyone to get parole. They always do. And it's ridiculous, because you shouldn't have a blanket statement. You should make a no when it's no and a yes when it's yes. You know, we've seen them say, we object to him getting released, and he's serving like 22 years for stealing diapers. He later served as an investigator at the Louisiana State Penitentiary, Angola. And if you can imagine the way he was treating inmates during his role at that position, someone had commented on this in the last one, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. It would have been brutal. You could just see the way he's doing it now. Imagine how he's acting behind closed doors. And Mr. Wise was first appointed in 2004, and he was at the time the longest serving board member. It's bizarre. And he retired, thankfully. Now to the cockroach, as we call him in this channel, the Chomo, he said, I insisted, I thought it was her mama. Well, it's not the first time someone said that. Here's a hearing, and I'll link it up here. 6 months ago, he said the same exact thing. The same exact thing. I thought it was her. And It has 30,000 views. When I saw him make the statement, I said, "Oh my gosh, it's the same person." And I looked it up. I was like, "No, it's not. It's just someone using the same excuse." And I really had no idea what was going on during this parole hearing, because the interview style was just atrocious, absolutely, atrocious. And then all of a sudden, it's like unveiled through Mr. Mirabella, thankfully, who has some, who is talented, and he brings in the whole AA thing all the time, and he was a drug court judge for I think 13 years. I should know this, and we all know that, but I wouldn't hold it against him. It's his thing, and I think he's always paying attention. He's and he shows respect all around, and he's good at what he does. I couldn't tell how many victims this guy had, if it was the same person they were talking about or multiple people, because it was just such a poor interview. But one funny thing, low risk. Low risk. Yeah, I'll never get bored of saying how insane it is, because it's like the emperor with no clothes. It's so dumb. It's so clearly a broken system, yet they stick to it. And you can't be that knuckleheaded. I mean, it's got to change. Do not classify the most likely to reoffend as low risk. He had a child with her, 14 years old, and literally they're asking him, "What do you think?" And I thought it was her mama. And it's like trying to get him to admit he doesn't. He can't even explain what he did was wrong. He couldn't even describe it. And it's just crazy. You watch this stuff, and then he got a nothing sentence. He served 4 years, 1 month, and I think he's got, what was it, a 6-year sentence? He's probably, I'm not sure if he's out now. I could check, but this was recorded in 2020. I mean, how does a DA do that? How? He impregnated her. How is that not an offense that you give a really long sentence for? It's just madness, and it's sickening, and it's part of why we do this. It's part of why I'm so passionate about doing this, because it's just insane. Anyways, I was really about to blow my top, but I'm trying to keep my blood pressure a little low. It's been a little intense lately, and yeah, click that if you want to see the other one. It's crazy. I don't know why they think it's a good excuse to say I thought it was their mother. I mean, it's just total madness. But a second time we've heard that as an excuse. But with that, I'm gonna let you go.